Yeah, you're one of my most sought-after guests. I'm glad we can finally,
my goodness, sought after.
Yeah, I actually mean that. I'm not
You're
blowing
not
smoke.
looking hard at all.
Well, it's a low level podcast.
If
So at this level,
all right. Well, if you see viewership dip, there is a reason.
I don't think it can really get that
I
much
don't think
lower.
it could dip.
Yeah, the clips do all right, but yeah,
That's
it's kind of an excuse just to like talk to people that I find interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've done so many things, and in what seems to be a pretty short amount of time, right?
Well, I just hit seven years.
Yeah.
This is the first year I actually like didn't post anything about like a comic anniversary.
Your stats. You count everything.
I didn't. I was just like, I don't know. I'm in a dip, and so I was like, I just don't feel like celebrating this right now. But I think you know too. Like it bookings dip and roll, and the moment you slack off on trying to be booked, you all of a sudden you find a big hole in your schedule, and you have no shows, and it's like, woo. I can only blame myself for it, but yeah.
You strike me as someone that's probably like pretty hard on yourself, because I think you tend to stay pretty busy from what I can see.
I'd love to be busier.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, because
I'd love to be. I'd love to someday be able to say I do this full time, or that this pays the bills. It does not.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to say that I want that or not.
Yeah.
Paying the bills. I definitely want to get booked more. I want more longer sets. That's mainly what I want now. And more clubs. Like this past weekend I did a club, and it was like, damn, like.
What club?
It was Comedy Zone in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And it was like, good sound.
Yeah. People
had bought tickets to see comedy in a room that's made for that. It's like a lot of the stuff I do. It's
you weren't surprising a dinner crowd with a comedy show all of a sudden.
Exactly. Ambushing people.
I hate to see their eyes when the first person gets on the mic and welcomes them to a show, and that they had no idea.
We came to talk to each other, and now we have to leave because we don't want to hear.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Check, please.
Yeah. That's I'd say most of my shows have been more like, is this even a show? And when you go to a club, it's like, it's a comedy show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it when it is definitely a show.
Yeah.
Not like a show.
I like it. Aaron Weber, who's a Nashville guy, has a joke that in amongst his set he used to do that, talking about like I was at a bad show, and then he says something about I've got more of those coming up, but sometimes you just know, like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a show that it's probably not gonna get me booked anywhere else, but I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on it. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, I think those shows do kind of probably make you bet. Like if every show I'd done was a great audience, warmed up, good sound, I probably wouldn't be as good. Like, so you want some. You're just trying to make it feel like a show, but then at like a certain number of years, and you get a taste of good shows, and you're like, ooh, it's this now, and then you go back down, you have like 8 just horrible, like just breweries with like dogs and echoey, and you're just like, God, is it like, was that my last good show? It always kind of feels like I could never do a good show again, possibly.
I feel
like the universe is ready to just make it that.
No, I get that for sure. There'll be times where I'll be on a little run with Henry, and like all his theater shows are like 1,000 to 1,800 people.
Damn.
And then you come back home, and like you're headlining a bar show with 7 people, and you're like, woof. Yeah. This is different.
Well, yeah, I mean,
this feels a lot different.
I can't imagine. I don't think I've done more than like 500. So getting up in the thousands is good. But then when you go back down, it's like the difference is like,
once you taste it, you're like, oh, I don't want to go back to this.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about, though. 7 years, I've seen you have a strong headliner set. You have a special with a view that's gotten like millions of views on a clip. You're opening up for like big names in theaters. Like I talk to a lot of people. I watch everyone in the, like those things I just said, it's pretty good at 7 years. Like, you should at least feel like you're crushing what you've done with the 7 years way beyond the average regional.
I feel like I lucked into most of it, though. I do.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't open a door. Somebody opened a door for me. So that was
humble. See all the ingredients. You're not like, damn right, because I'm better than everyone. It's like that's not good.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, exactly. You know not to say that. Again,
we could have a section on this about who we think is the worst comic we've worked with ever.
Yeah,
we'll just bleep out all the names.
Yeah, that's when the tape goes off.
Yeah,
at the end,
radio silent.
Yeah, right before we start it. It is funny sometimes I'll do a podcast with somebody and then we'll talk again not on tape. And it's like, oh, we have so much shit to talk about.
So much. Yeah, I just can't have it recorded. I have a reputation to uphold here.
It's going on the internet. We don't
no. This is the first time I've seen you since your DryBar has come out.
Yeah.
And you've got a couple clips out. Has your life changed?
You know too much about this, because yours is... Not yet. It hasn't changed yet. And the 3 clips that are doing the best are on Facebook. So I'm waiting for like a YouTube one to drop because so now my website has like Facebook clips embedded.
Yeah.
Those are the most legit looking thing I have.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping there'll be more like a YouTube clip like yours, but I guess you don't know. They just drop one.
And
it does way better than anything I post.
I don't know their marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Because they initially dropped an 11-minute clip. Like, that was half my
perfect.
That was half
right?
my set. They dropped.
You don't have to tell people to go to some confusing
chunk.
Place. Yeah,
and that's the only one that's done well. And
that's the Introvert YouTube clip.
Yeah,
we'll put that in the description because
that one has gotten. I can't watch it.
Yeah,
I've never watched the DryBar special.
Really?
No, because by the time it came out, I had changed or adapted many of those jokes.
Sure, you could do them better now.
And I was like, I don't want to see that.
Sure, that's good though. That means the act is living and evolving and growing.
But really, for Facebook or Instagram Reels, there's not much out for me. And I've asked them like, hey, because I know at some point they've done it with so many other comics that they'll put the whole special on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's something that will happen eventually, or
my theory is that once you pay them back.
Yeah, that's my other thing was like maybe once you've paid off your debts that they can do it. I've got a while.
I haven't even got my first
those quarterly statements that they send out those are humbling. Yeah. Those are humbling for sure.
Yeah, I don't expect to ever make money off of it, but from my perspective, if they chop the whole thing up and put it out in free places, that'd be ideal.
Now, I think they sent you the whole special yet?
They have.
That you can.
Yeah, so I can clip
yourself. I have not been great at that. I've done it a couple times. I'm
trying to let them do it because if
I'd like it to come from their
with
channel,
millions of followers instead of thousands.
Yeah, because I can tag them, but that doesn't. I don't think that moves the needle a lot. As if they had done it and tagged me.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for them to do everything they possibly can do, and then I might do some of my own. But I did watch the whole thing alone.
Okay.
When it came out, I wasn't like gather around people, and I was kind of like, yeah, that's it kind of like you said. I was like, I don't do half of those jokes anymore because it was so squeaky clean. I had to be the only 25 I had, and then I was like, the half that I do. I've made those jokes so much better over the last year. Yeah, so it is a little hard to see that I'm like adding. I got an extra punchline that's better, or I'm saying a word that's not needed. But I think that's just what it is. Like probably other people aren't bothered by what you're bothered by.
No, because they don't know.
Yeah.
Like if that's the first time they've seen me, they don't know what the joke sounds like now, or how I've changed it, or some of the things that I just don't do anymore that are in that part.
Yeah, but I mean, 7 years though, the fact that you've done all that, I mean, it's pretty. Because one of the things I notice on here is people that tend to start older. Like I started comedy, I was 35. I had just had my second kid, or was just about to have my second kid, and there's this idea that like you got to be young when you start. But I've noticed that people that start older often like hustle way harder because we're like, we're going to be dead soon. You know, we don't have like, oh, I'll just chill out for 20 years. And then like we kind of have more of a like, let's do this, you know, let's do it now. And you strike me as someone that's kind of like really hit the ground running.
Yeah, that was the whole motivation behind it. It was like, I don't have any time to be lazy or, you know, just go to a mic or something once a month. Like, if I'm going to do this, and if I want to actually do well, like, I have to hustle. You know, that has to be my main hustle.
What did that work look like? I mean, you how long did you do other before comedy? Did you like do like theater or music or any other performing art?
No, I had some public speaking stuff. Right out of college, I did like 8 years as a youth pastor. So like I was comfortable speaking in front of people.
This is another common one. You know Jeremy Alder?
Yeah.
Okay. This is another. I'm like, how you get good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dustin Nickerson.
Yeah.
Was a youth pastor for a while too. So I felt comfortable speaking. I did not know how to write a joke.
Gotcha. But you were relaxed in front of the people.
Yeah, talking in front of people.
Finding your voice
didn't bother me. It was just, and I had always, like, since high school, I had always wanted to try comedy, but I didn't know how you write a joke. I don't know. The only thing I knew is like you go to an open mic and you just try stuff, and that was terrifying to even think about.
Oh yeah.
And so I didn't do it. And then I had somebody who I worked with at the time was doing comedy. And so I asked if we could have coffee sometime. And so I asked her, like, how did you start? What does it look like? And she told me like that she went to a comedy class, like a 6-week comedy class. And I was like, I didn't even know those existed. And then I was like, well, I mean, maybe I could do that. And so I actually texted, while I was in that conversation, I texted my wife and I was like, you know, the Comedy Zone does classes. And before our conversation was over, she had texted me back saying that she had signed me up for the next one.
That's awesome. She wasn't like, if you take this class.
No, she was like, I think she had heard
Find another family because.
Yeah, I think she had just heard me talk about it so many times. Like,
wow,
what if I tried it? And then never. And so I think she just was like, you're going to do it. Like, you're either going to find that you like it and that maybe you can do it, or you're going to be like, whoo, that was a bad idea. And I gave it a shot, and we will not talk about it again.
I mean, I know enough about like what average people do with their time to where I'm certain of all the people in that class, you've accomplished more with your comedy career. And you should stay humble, but I'm just saying I know.
I think there's like 2 other people in my class that are still like fiddling with it. Most of them did it because it was a bucket list, or they wanted to be more comfortable speaking in front of crowds. And that was just an avenue.
Yeah. I did Toastmasters before comedy because I was so terrified just to even talk to people that I just needed to just talk to elderly people that were supportive for a year or two before even attempting to go to a bar and try to actually make people laugh.
Yeah. I was ready to quit after the first week, though. The first week was just, it was the way they set it up and talked to you. It was all doom and gloom. It was like, you're never going to be successful. Like,
now that we got your money.
Yeah. Like if you think you're going to just quit your day job and do just don't. And then
that's fair though.
It is fair. Yeah. You set the bar.
Yeah.
They did set the bar.
How bad do you want it? You know,
they set the bar
viable...
super high. Yeah. Like if you think, if you just think like you're going to be offered a Netflix special, like let's push those expectations down. Like this class is not going to get you that. And then at the end of the class, we had to do an improv game. And I don't think fast on my feet. And so I just thought, well, I'll just stand in the big circle and we'll let the game just do. And I won't, I'm not going to step into the circle and say something. And as we kept going, I just started getting sweaty. I was just feeling all this anxiety.
I feel that way watching improv. I'm like, this is so uncomfortable.
And the leaders of the class at some point were like, okay, we're not going to stop until everybody has done it. And I was like, dang it, I have to do it. So I stepped in the circle, flubbed everything. Nobody laughed, chuckled, anything. Stepped back. They finished the game. I went and got in my car, and I called. The first person I called was the lady that encouraged me to take the class, that was doing comedy already, and I was like, I think I'm going to quit. And she had
started with improv.
She had to talk me off the ledge.
Because improv's so different, right?
Yeah, she was like, that's the only time they're going to do it. Just go back the second week. They're actually going to get into like writing a joke or a premise,
That's crazy that they do that, because I've been to one improv intro class and felt the same way. I'm like, this just further makes me sure that stand-up is for me, because it's just me.
Yeah.
If I succeed or if I fail, I used to play in bands, and it's like somebody else forgets their part. That's too complicated. Like the beauty of stand-up is it's just you.
Yeah.
You decide you want to try something new you just thought of that day, you can. Yeah. You don't have some team you're going to let down.
Yeah.
It's just all the shame
all
and the glory.
People there.
Yeah.
You're going to let
just
down.
You. Yeah, right. Well, that's great.
So we made it through the class, and I was hooked at that point.
Did you any of the material from that 6-week class make it into your special, or you still do some of those jokes now?
Yeah, some of the introvert stuff, because that was like, they basically wanted you to have like 3 to 5 premises, and so that were unique to you. So I was like, well, I got the introvert stuff.
That stuff's great, because you're that guy. Every public speaker isn't going, I'm an introvert. You know, it's sort of unusual.
Yeah. So I was able to do that. But I think that's really the only stuff I still do. I did a bit in the class about being a runner, and I never talk about that anymore.
So after you left the class, you got your first 3 to 5 minutes, some experience. Did you start like a certain number of nights a week, or like what was the year after that like?
Yeah, I tried to do 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like go to there were a couple open mics in town that
Charlotte's got a big scene too, so
decent-ish.
Yeah.
I went to one open mic that was such a disaster. Our whole class kind of went, because they were encouraging us to like go to an open mic. Just tried getting your words, before the whole graduation of the class, and they're like, go to this. So a bunch of us went to this one open mic, and it went so bad. It was like nobody was paying attention. Yeah. There were people in the front at these little tables. They were just talking amongst themselves.
I think I might have been to this mic in Charlotte. Is it on a Wednesday?
It is on a Wednesday.
Because I've only been to one mic in Charlotte, and I went for that one, and I was like, wow, this is like just trying to get people to listen.
Yeah.
And it was like pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
Much less like having a good joke.
Yeah. And so like no good reaction. And, once again, like you drive home after that thinking, this is like nobody would even listen. Like, how are they supposed to laugh if they want? Like, I couldn't even get their attention.
They were right when they told us we'd never be famous on the first day.
Yeah,
it's great though. It's just like discouraging.
It's so
event after discouraging event, and you're still here. It's not like, yay, we all supported you.
I think that's just the stubbornness.
It's the hardest thing ever.
You put your head down and you're like, all right, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get them to pay attention sometime.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Yeah.
I would have had to gone back to that open mic to get to do it. And I never went back to that one.
Yeah, there's different rooms too, and there's also that like, okay, well maybe this room or this audience, like I don't have the delusion that I'm for everybody,
Yeah.
And the more I've done it, the more I've been like, I need to lean into specifically finding my people and not being a generalist. I think like even kind of doing like the dry bar and the clean stuff, there can be kind of the temptation to go, I'm clean, corporate, family for everybody guy, and that's kind of like and those laughs are never going to be as good as like I'm weirdly specifically for this audience.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I went to the room that you and I did, the Evening Muse in Charlotte.
Yeah.
On Mondays they have a mixed open mic. So it's singers, it's poets, it's bands, and a few comedians. And I always use that as a good litmus test because 100% of the crowd is not there for comedy.
Right.
They are there for everything else.
Yeah.
So I always felt like if you can get them to laugh, it's like, okay, that joke has some merit.
I like that because I think the mic, the big city mic that's only other comedians waiting to go up is the last thing I should ever base whether a joke works on or not. A bunch of comedians, like,
they don't want to laugh at you.
I want real people to laugh, not other comedians that are, have something to be gained or lost by they're putting too much of themselves on you. So I could see that being a good one. And that room has great sound, and it is a real performance space too.
Yeah.
So it's not.
So it's set up right.
You can hear the talking through the
it's
speakers.
Set up. People are sitting.
There's no TVs on.
No
like
TVs.
Some other.
They're there for a show of some sort.
Yeah.
You just happen to be 6 minutes of something they did not come for.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it is kind of hard to get a bunch of people there when you're somebody that the city's never heard of before, as I learned.
Well, it's still a fun little room.
Yeah.
It's a fun little room.
Yeah, I love that. So I saw Jonathan Richmond. I've seen musicians there over the years, so I do love that room. It's the perfect size, great sound. So is that kind of, are you still like hitting mics regularly, or do you kind of do you do new stuff at shows too? Or does it just kind of depend on, you have a family life and the career?
I always get nervous doing new material at shows. I will every once in a while pull out a new thought at a show, and then sometimes it's like, ooh, I should not have done that.
Yeah.
But I try to like throw it in somewhere, a little throwaway spot that if it doesn't go well, you just pivot into something that works.
Like before and after two good things.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You can act like it wasn't even a joke.
Yeah, I was like, oh, why did I say that?
Yeah. I notice too when it's new, I'll listen back and I'll be like, this is my new joke. Like I'm like asking them.
Yeah.
My voice is going up at the end, whereas if I have done a joke a bunch of times and I know it's a solid joke, I will say it with confidence, even if they don't laugh in this particular room. Like a lot of the new material psychology is being willing to take a pause after and not just be like, that didn't work. You know what I mean? Like there must be a defensiveness.
Yeah, there definitely isn't a joke that you've told over and over. There's a confidence like, this is a funny joke because it's gotten laughs many, many, many times. And then, there is, I think your voice does have a little maybe different inflection when you're just throwing something out and you've never really said it before. You don't know how it's going to land. And so,
And the audience is picking up on those clues too. There's like, this guy doesn't even believe in it too.
I mean, sometimes if it doesn't go well, I will just say it like, that was a new joke. I'm sorry.
And they'll laugh. Yeah. Right.
And then they'll give you a pity laugh and you move on.
I feel like you get one of those, but then the second, third time you're like, that was also new. They're like, all right, this is starting to.
I usually will not. If something goes badly, I will
just
definitely go back into material that I know that works. I'm not coming out of that safe spot again in that show for sure.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a more high stakes kind of gig where you want to do well.
Yeah.
For someone, like if you're in a big theater. It's not
well, if I'm in a big spot where I'm opening for somebody, I will definitely just stick with the hits. We're going to do the tried and true, the ones that get the laughs, and we're going to make sure the crowd is ready for the headliner.
Just do the A+ set, not the risky.
I'm not going to risk it.
I might ruin the whole night.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want that.
Are there things that you've learned or you've tuned into that from doing like bigger rooms, opening for people that can draw 1,000 people or more? And
slow down. It's one of the biggest ones that was told to me. Slow down, and don't step on your laughs.
Yeah.
I'll go
two sides of the same coin.
I'll go too quickly into the next line, and I don't let people appreciate the punchline that I just told them. But part of that is an inner fear that if they stop laughing, like they're gonna figure out I'm a fraud. So I need to go into the next joke so that they don't have time to figure that out. So it's all part of the maturing process of finding a little bit of self-confidence in your ability, your joke writing, your delivery, whatever. And for me, that is still very much a work in progress.
Yeah, same. Yeah, that's since day one, just trying to slow down and allow there to be more silence. Like when I see someone just allowing it to be quiet for several beats on stage, to me, that's my favorite thing. It's like, what confidence.
Yeah, I wish.
There is that kind of desperate part of me, and some nights it's louder than others, that like, if I let it get quiet for 5 seconds, it'll be quiet for the rest of the night and for the rest of my life. Like,
every time I'm like, let's do another joke that they might like, instead of just letting them enjoy what I just told them.
Yeah, that's what it is. So slowing down, removing likes and ums and all unnecessary he said, she said's, all these things. Just try to chisel it down to just the confident jokes with silence around the beats.
One of the things that Henry was working with me with, because he knows that I'll take my phone out on the stool, I'll record. I'm not great at listening back unless I have a reason, like, how did I say that? And because it got a different laugh than I got before, so I'll go back and see how I said something. But I got into this habit, and I'm still trying to kick it, where it's almost like the stepping on the laugh thing. I'll do a punchline, and then all of a sudden I added, at the end.
Yeah.
As a like.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it started. I don't know why it started. But after one show, Henry was like, how many times do you think you say And I was like, I don't know. I was like, not that many. Just like, I don't know, 5, 10 maybe in a 25-minute set. And he was like, listen to your set and count and then tell me. And it was over 50 in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It was so embarrassing.
What a great suggestion.
It was so embarrassing. And then he was like, while you're on the stage, you need to be mindful and mentally try not to say it. And so the next show I did with him, he could tell like that I had cut it. Like there were still a few, because my brain was like, I just said it, because I was really paying attention to that. And I don't think if he had said anything, I don't think I would have ever thought twice about it. So it was somebody that I respected that just said, listen to your set. See how many times you say these two extraneous words that don't need to be there. They don't add to the punchline, so stop. Don't say it.
Yeah, I wish we did that more. And especially someone that's really you've got a reason to listen to them because they're successful. But that's one thing I do miss about doing Toastmasters before comedy is, there was all the critiques. Like, you give people something they can grow on every single time, and also something they did well. And there's a lot of times I'm at an open mic and I can see a thing that a newer comic's doing that I feel like if they just change that one thing, it would help. But they're not asking, I feel like it's not my place to give unsolicited advice, but I always want people, if you see something that you think I could tweak, like, absolutely tell me, It's just your opinion, but still, like, a lot of times somebody else can see your.
I mean, I brought a list.
That's.
I brought notes.
Throw away your whole act.
I watched your special. I have some notes. I do not offer advice unless somebody asks me, and I've had some people ask me advice and then not take it at all.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, then why'd you ask me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they wanted me to say like, oh, I don't have any notes. Like, you're doing great.
Yeah.
But there's
maybe
been
so. Maybe they didn't actually want it.
But there's been times where somebody was like, "You heard my set. What did you think?" And I said, "Let me think about it. I'll message you." And I'll message something about like, you know, like there was a long section where there was like, get to that punchline sooner, and then they come back, well, I want to make people think and come along and I was like, okay, well then you don't want advice.
That sounds like most people, you know. I like the idea of being able to take your criticism, but when it really comes around to it, I don't actually really want. It's the same with wanting to get booked and wanting to get on shows. Like, how do you get booked in? And I'm like, well, you send a video to this person. Well, I haven't got a good video yet. A year later, it's like I think most people are kind of afraid to actually go for it, because if you actually go for it and then you fail, that's scary, you know?
Yeah.
So I think most artists are kind of like, they think they want your advice, but really they'd have to change and do something different, and that's so hard.
Yeah.
And I guess being older maybe helps. Like, if you're still doing this as a dad that's older, like, I do think there's something more like, we're not just like hanging out in our 20s, you know, like if we're making like scheduling time, like I'm sure that like with your schedule, you have to like sit down with your wife and be like, get the calendar out, get the spreadsheet, whatever it is, the spreadsheets. I mean, it's insane for us to even be doing this.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot, because we have a sophomore in high school who runs cross country in the fall, track in the spring. So it's like I need his meet schedules so that I can be like, okay, I'm going to make sure I keep those dates open.
He should support your comedy career by quitting his dreams.
I mean, if he really wanted me to be a full-time comedian, then he needs to stop doing extracurricular activities.
That's what I keep telling my kids.
Like, just stop. Like, why do you have to do this?
Let's watch my special again.
Let's focus on
it.
I need views, okay? So, like, if you could send this clip to all your friends, that would be great.
But don't you get like an offer to do some kind of theater gig, and your first reaction is whoa, and then your second reaction is like, when am I gonna mention this to my wife? Like, you got to time that.
I mean, I usually will go right into it. Like, I'll just be like, hey, do we have something this date? And we've hit a small snafu, which isn't really a snafu, because I'm gonna not do the gig I was offered. But I was offered 2 days in Austin, Texas, opening for somebody that I've opened for before. But it turns out now that is my wife's brother's wedding weekend.
Yeah, weddings are tough.
So
they could probably move their wedding.
I know. So she was like, if you want to go, like, I'll just go to the wedding by myself. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah. There's a line.
You show up to your side of the family without me, that's not gonna it's not gonna look great.
Oh, he's out there telling his little jokes.
He's out telling his little jokes, making a little money. Yeah.
Notice how they put little in front of it? You ever notice that?
Twice.
Yeah. A little special came out.
Little special, little jokes, little money,
yeah.
little ego, just everything. Yeah. So, like, there hasn't been many places where it's like, okay, we got to make a decision.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's grown-up skills, too, just being able to work the logistics. I mean, number of people that you book, and then the day of the podcast, they're like, I actually just don't feel like it, or I can't.
Yeah.
You know, it's like being consistent, I think, is a big thing, too. Like, people are afraid that if they get a career and a job, it'll not allow them to do creative stuff, but I found it can kind of help, because you really realize your time is valuable. You learn how to work a calendar, write an email, prioritize things. So it's kind of interesting that being like older and busier, I think it makes it harder, but it also makes it easier to succeed in some ways too.
I mean, I definitely had to, when I was into like year 2 of comedy, like year 1, it was like, if I could just get invited to a showcase,
right? Yeah,
I'll be pretty happy.
Do a non-open mic.
Yeah, basically, it's like if I could do a non-open mic show, whew, like,
yeah,
that's good enough for right now.
I remember that whole year of being like, I wonder if I'll ever get asked to be on the show.
And then you do, and you're like,
now I want the next thing.
And sometimes it's like, hey, can you be on this showcase? It just pays tips. We're like, oh, okay, so like $1? What am I going to get? Like, okay, I'll do it. I'll still do it.
Yeah, it's like I do an open mic for free for 5 minutes, so I'll do this show that's down the road I'll get 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That might not be the A+ act.
No.
That might be.
I mean, I was hoping for 10.
Yeah.
If I could just get 10, I've got like 2 pseudo okay 5s. I'll just put those together.
Yeah.
And now I have 10.
Yeah.
And yes, but at some point it was like, okay, I'm getting invited to showcases. I'm starting to get booked locally. Like, how do I get booked other places? And so I had to they don't really teach you that.
Yeah. How do you get booked
It's
other
like
places?
it's like a secret world that you aren't let into right away. And so I had to ask a couple comedians that were further along. I was like, okay, how do you send avails? Like, because somebody I tried to get on a show and they were like, oh, well, we're booked right now, but send me your avails. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Like, what does that mean to send avails? Like, it would be easier if you just tell me what dates you have, because more than likely I am also available those dates. Like, I don't have a lot of not available time.
Right. I've heard it's like night and day. If you send avails, they go, here's my calendar, here's this person's avails. They have some chance of getting on, but if you say anytime's good, it's that's almost like saying nothing, because they're like, well, everybody says anytime's good, and it makes you look like you're not got a lot going on. So even if you just lie and be like, I have these 4 weekends, psychologically it does something.
Yeah. So somebody was like, well, here's what I do, and they actually emailed me their spreadsheet of like booker emails, the date they sent an email, if they got a response back, and then like if they were booked, they would put that date in there.
This is the stuff we love on here. These are the real secrets, the unsexy secrets of the comedy game.
I was like, oh, I can create an Excel spreadsheet. And so I had a list of bookers, and then that list keeps growing when somebody gives me an email of a new booker.
Are you just cold emailing a lot of them?
Yeah.
And you're actually getting booked from the cold emails?
I mean, sometimes.
But it's like you just really got to go. It's 1 in 10 or 1 in 20 or something, right?
Sometimes if you know somebody who had been at that club,
drop their name.
You can, and if they're okay with, I would always ask. Before I drop a name, because I don't want that club to reach out to that person and that person be like, I don't vouch for that person.
Who? Paul Snyder?
Like, don't book them for sure. So I will ask permission to be like, hey, you were there. Can I mention that we've been on shows together? And so sometimes I'll be like, hey, club, I would love to come and do a spot there sometime. My buddy X was there. They talked about how great the staff was and how some of it is a little bit schmoozing, kind of lift them up by somebody that had been there, and then
totally
hope that they will email back. To this date, most emails that I send do not get responses.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
They're just
the majority is always going to be.
They're just in this pot of unread emails.
Do you must surely you also be like, here's my DryBar video that's got 2 million views.
So I will send them
little business
now
card.
Now that I have that, I usually will send that YouTube link in the body of the email. I also have an EPK electronic press kit, which has your bio, clubs you've performed at.
I should be putting that in mind. This is good.
Other headliners that you've performed with.
It's the here's why I'm legit list.
And then I have a couple references like with their email, like, hey, if you want to get the inside scoop, here's 2 people you could ask.
I mean, the things you just said, like the amount of emails they get, all right, that's a ton, but if you take the time to go through with the fine-tooth comb, like I bet you're in at least the top like 5-10% just by you're showing that you're organized and thoughtful too.
I mean, I do
You're not
it
just like, hey, when do I get booked?
I do it once a month. So for clubs that I've never heard from ever, I have like a standard, just like, hey, here's my name. I'm from Charlotte. I've performed with these people. I'd love to showcase my skills at your club sometime. Here's my EBK. Here's my DryBar clip. And boom, it's off. Clubs that I've gotten bookings from before, then I will send them like, here's my avails for the next 3-4 months. I don't feel like I need to do the introductory portion. Like, they've had me there.
Right.
So they either liked me while I was there, or like, I'm not going to come back. And that's on, that's their choice.
Do you ask for a particular, do you say like, I'm willing to host, or, I'd love to headline, or you just say like, just
mostly
just a
it's
spot,
just, I'm hoping just to get a feature spot.
Yeah. Feature's kind of the best, really. Right?
I mean, feature's the best world.
It's like,
I mean,
I get to do 30 for my features over the weekend, which was absolutely perfect because it's long enough to do basically all the good jokes in the act.
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm still not there at the end when they've been sitting in their chairs for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
The headliner still has the burden of like bringing it all home.
You don't have to worry about check drop time.
Yeah, right.
Because that's just the time that people are just like focused on paying their bill and they're not really even listening anymore. So it's like you don't have to worry about that kind of just stuff that's happening in the club. The feature, you just go up there, you bang home 20-25 minutes, people really enjoy you, you're done.
Yeah, that's great. There's a lot of things in there when I listen back. I'm like, references, why have I not included, like, here's a person that runs a comedy legit thing that would vouch for me. Do you feel like you probably don't strike me as someone that like wants to be less clean than you are? You probably like by default,
Yeah, my mom, and until my mom passes away, I will definitely be 100% clean.
But then after that,
watch out.
Whoa, good Lord. Is that what was going on inside Paul's mind?
Things to say. No, it's really, I would love to tell jokes about my parents, but they just, to them, comedy is 100% true. Like the story you tell on stage happened exactly like that.
Yeah.
And there's no nuance. There's no like, well, the bones happened, but like, I created some of the punchline, some of the tension, and some of the things that happened. So like, I would love to be able to tell jokes about growing up and stuff, but like, they aren't gonna be like, that's not how that happened.
Wow, and you'll actually just not do the...
I didn't say that.
I'm always kind of like, if they laugh, I'll just apologize later.
Yeah.
And I got one in my special that I'm like, going to see my in-laws this summer. I might have to be like, look, like, it starts with reality and it ends with, I want the laugh.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means exaggerating a little bit. It's
there's
like,
definitely some...
It's not all like factual. And like, and I'm clean. Like, I go to shows in town. I mean, the things you'll hear people say tonight in the Asheville comedy, it's like, I'm getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm like the like PG dad of my scene.
Yeah.
But then there's still things that'll go at like, the older generations of my family where it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I went to a mic last night just because it was like I didn't have a show, but it was at a club in Charlotte, so I was like, there are people there that are not comics, so it's a good place to just try some stuff that I've been working on that like I don't know if it's there yet, and like the 4 people before me. That like by the time the 4th one was done, I was like, this bit about a dead Roomba is not gonna get the laughs after the things they've heard.
They're just shocked out. They've been killed Tony to death, so now it's like nuance is sort of gone.
There was a lot of just in your face shock stuff, and like, okay, now I've written some jokes, and like I know they're not gonna go real well because the dynamic of the room has changed. Yeah. So, like, which is why a lot of comics that are dirtier want a clean comic to open for them. Yeah. Because they want the shock. You can't really reverse engineer that. You can't be a dirty feature and then have a clean headliner, because you've just kind of you've just changed the dynamic of the room, and you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Like, it's
totally.
So it's
even within my sets, I never get that dirty, but I try to start clean and build too risky, even within my set. So it's like you learn to trust me as a dad.
Yeah.
And then it might get a little like weed or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
I've got a little innuendo. Like, my dad was a gynecologist, so I have an opening joke about that.
Yeah, that's clean.
But, because I don't go into...
It's like Seinfeld clean or something.
Yeah.
You're still talking about a thing that's a little risky, but that's the fun part about that bit, is that you keep waiting for you to like say something dirty, but you land the whole thing without.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's fun about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he did the whole thing without ever saying the thing.
Yeah. And I have a whole bit about drugs, but it's about that I've never done drugs. So you're talking about drugs.
Yeah.
In a way that's funny because I don't know anything about drugs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it's like I can kind of tiptoe the line and still be funny, but I'm not, I'm staying on the safe side.
Yeah, and it takes more skill, I think, in general. Like I tend to be like PG-13. The DryBar was a limitation, being like 100% squeaky Christian clean. I feel like I could have been funnier if I could have run like PG-13, like said shit once or whatever, But
but when I heard you preparing for it before you went, I can't remember where we were. Black Mountain, maybe somewhere.
Lookout Brewing. Yeah.
Yeah, because one of your closing pieces is about the word you call your daughter.
Right, and I didn't do that in the special.
Okay, I was wondering if you were going to close with that.
That was a brand new one. That was a brand new bit that I just got going at that time. So what I'd do is I'd run my whole act and then I'd tack that on the end.
Okay.
And then that's one of the few that have gotten me in trouble, because I don't want to have a double life. So I played that bit for my 14-year-old daughter, and she's like, "What the?" And I was like, "Well, I don't. We're just." So now I kind of am not sure if I want to do that bit anymore, because I don't, But yeah, that one didn't make it.
Okay, I was wondering, it's like, were you going to do it but change the word, or just going to see plow through it and just see what happens?
Yeah, and that bit for me is like, I am a little conflicted about that, because a lot of the joke is kind of saying the thing. So it's like, I do really try. It's such a great thing that I always have a clean gig every other month, because not many people can do clean. So every month I have to take an honest look at, like, I'm going out to the country. These folks went to church. What's left? Like, how much of my act is kind of relying on like edginess? And if you get too much in that direction, I don't know. I mean, it does set us apart that we can work clean, because I don't want, if I'm in a headline long, I don't want the person right before me to just be like straight up talking about graphic sex and drugs for 30 minutes, because like you said, it's like, well, now nuance is out the window. They've been fried.
You can't
with the horrific imagery.
It's hard to go backwards.
I've
done a couple college events, and they're like, well, you've got to be clean. Like, I know college kids aren't clean, but your materials, you got to be clean because it's a college sponsored thing. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm like, oh, I don't have any material because I have a lot of marriage material. Right. I don't have anything for that 18 to 21, 22-year-old. I was like, oof.
Yeah, what's Dad going to tell? How did it go?
It did not go well.
Yeah, because that's on my list. Like, I want to experience all the things. Like, I want to do a cruise and a college, even though I don't think it'll go that well. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, if I did get that college booking, and I've heard that that's going away because kids are just in their rooms on screens now. But if I did speak to the 18, I could be your dad. Like, what? Yeah. Even when it shows locally, like a person that's like 21, I can tell they're like, what is Dad going to say to me?
This was also like, it wasn't prom, but it was like their college formal of some sort. So it was happening while a lot of other things were happening. So people would come in for 2 minutes
all
and
the
then
odds
leave.
are stacked against.
And it's like, well, one, I don't have any like one-liners. So it's like, if you miss the opening to this story, like you
can't just check in and out.
Just go ahead.
How much
and get
time
out.
did you have to do?
I did 25 minutes.
At least maybe you could just do the same bits again. You're like, well, those people are gone.
Yeah,
so
it's like we lost a lot.
Just
so
doing a 5-minute.
Just keep
loop.
doing 5 rounds of 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I should have done that. I should have been like, yeah, the crowd is pretty much all new. Let's start from the top.
There's that one guy. It's like, wait a second.
You need to just keep it down. Yeah. You didn't bring anyone. Just go back to your room.
Yeah, it's like, have you done any corporate, any stuff like that?
Done a couple corporate. Corporates are rough too.
But they pay, right?
They do.
So
they
it's
pay
like
decently.
the corporate can pay for like 3 good shows where you break even and we get to go to Atlanta or whatever.
Yeah. I've gotten to the corporates through Gig Salad. And they're not, I mean, I'll do like 2 events a year probably, but based on booking from that. And yeah, the last corporate I did, like there was a guy like right at the front, spread eagle on his phone, didn't look up the entire time.
Yeah.
And inwardly I want to be like, dude, what are you doing? But it's like, I want to toe the line because I want to be paid for this. So I'm not going to address the fact that this
the rules are
guy
different.
Is just like because like if you were in a bar show, you'd probably roast the guy or incorporate him in and be like, "What are you doing?" You know, and you
maybe still could have gotten away with it, but it's riskier. It's like that's the CEO, and he's
I didn't want to find out that this is the guy that's like paying for the whole thing, and I was like, "Oh crap!"
I mean, there's a part of me, not the me that's on stage having to decide, but the part of me now is like, if he's paying for it and he's in the front row on his phone, he deserves to be thrown into the fire. For the greater good.
Yeah.
But it's easy to say that when you're I'm doing a wedding in a few months, and that's the first time this couple was like, we saw you at the show and we loved your Asheville material. And I was like, heck yeah, and we got a good rate. But now I'm like, all right, so I do need to like figure out how to do, I need to like honor them. I probably need to like lightly roast. Acknowledge that I can't just do material, but at the same time I don't want to offend anybody, so that's going to be a new one. It's only 10 to 15, so it's like,
okay, I've never done a wedding.
Do like
That'll
I got
interesting.
It's 3 months away. Like just open with a minute or two that's good, that acknowledges the event, and then transition into like, I'm married and I got kids. I can probably like, but a part of me is like, if it goes bad, that's extra sad because it's their special day. And they're going to pay me well. So I hope I don't ruin it.
I've got a friend that's getting married, and he's like, "You want to come and do like a toast or something?" I was like, "Absolutely not. Like, I'll come to your wedding. I'm not doing material." I was like, "No, I absolutely do not want to do that." Yeah,
you're just like in your head about that the whole night instead of just enjoying being present.
Now, if my brother-in-law asks, I'll roast the whole family. It's like, let's just go. Let's do it.
So you mentioned that like you went to a mic last night and you had some new things that you were kind of working on. Like, what does that look like? Like, how do you like think of something funny in your life and you jot it down real quick, or do you set aside time to write?
I set a time. I used to always set aside time to write. Like I would write, like in the comedy class I took, they taught me, gave me a trick that I've used to this day. Like they told us, like when we were writing our original 5-minute material, 3 premises, whatever, to write, just like I would just like on my laptop, just start typing away, boom, 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 and then I would go back, and every time I thought there would be a laugh, I would underline it and highlight it. And then I could look at this Word doc and I could see like where the laughs were. And if there was a whole bunch of text with nothing underlined or highlighted, it was like, well, that's probably way too many words before a laughter.
Yeah.
And then I would take that to a show or a mic or something, and I would do that material. And then I would listen back, and if where I thought there was a laugh did not get a laugh, it's like, okay, I gotta rethink that, or or if there was a laugh in some place that I didn't underline, it's like, well, I'll go back and underline that now because that's something funny. I didn't think it would be, but okay.
Yeah.
And so that's really the first at least 5 years. That's how I would write. I would just write it out. I would sit down and just write a bit, and then I would do all my underlines.
And you would listen back to it.
I would listen back
for the laugh.
I would
the brutal listen back,
Yeah, or even I would, was cognizant enough at the time to be like,
you remember?
I'd be like, oh, that.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna get a laugh. I did not get a laugh.
Yeah, that's kind of more what I'm doing mostly now. As I record every set, but usually I just feel like I kind of remember, but maybe I don't. Your listen back thing reminded me. It is technically you probably should always listen back forever.
Yeah,
but it can be so painful.
It can be.
It can really chisel away at your confidence.
It can be painful. And then now, I always have my notes app, and if I think of something, just a premise or a line or something, I'll open my notes app and I'll just add it to this long list of things I've written. And then if I want to sit and write stuff, I'll sit down and I'll just kind of scroll through and be like, okay, let's attack this thought, and I'll see if there's anything there, or I'll just be like, well, that was a dumb idea. I should not have done that.
That's great though. I've done a lot of that, but the idea of just riffing on it and then actually underlining where you think there'll be a laugh, that's a really interesting chart or a diagram that's on one page. How many laughs do I think there are, and where are there clusters? That's cool.
Because I can even print it out and just stick it 5 feet away, 10 feet away, and I'm just, all I see is text, and then I see some yellow highlighted sections, and I can just kind of look at the whole thing and be like, okay, that's spaced out, where you're hopefully getting a laugh every 15 seconds or so or whatever. But if I've got a whole long big thing and there's nothing there, it's like, okay, I need to either get a laugh in there or trim what I'm saying, because there's too much.
Yeah.
Just too much words, too much setup in there.
It's like your advice to the comedian that may or may not listen. It's like,
get to that.
That's the funny part. Get to it
faster.
Yeah.
And then spending a lot of time with Henry on the road, asking him how he writes. He writes backwards, and I've been trying that lately, and it is not...
Punchline first?
He'll have a punchline. This is what I want to get to. This is the payoff. How do I go backwards from there?
I've heard about that too.
And I've tried, I've got a notepad, a physical, and I'll write all right, this is the payoff. And then I'll try to branch off from that backwards. And it's not natural for me. I'm trying it, but just as another way of trying to think about joke writing.
Thinking backwards.
But my brain is really struggling with going backwards.
Yeah.
To what is the story that pays off this?
Yeah, I've had a few punchlines. I don't know if this will make sense, but I want to say it's like this, and I have some there's just a thing I'll see in life that's funny, and I'm like, if I could start with something else and say it's like this, but I've never. Yeah, it's like reverse engineering it. It's like that. I don't know if that's just a muscle that I need to flex, or if my brain doesn't work that way. But yeah, if you have a punchline that you want to say, why not just keep going backwards, and then yeah, you got this huge good thing at the end. I think Norm Macdonald was saying that too, that as long as he feels like the last punchline is great, he knows when he's working out a joke, he can just meander through it, go down every cul-de-sac and try things, because he knows that the last thing is great.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's I had never even thought about thinking like that. So this was completely new. I went and got a little journal pad to write, just free associate some stuff, and I don't have anything that's come out of it yet. Nothing yet.
How long's it been?
Since November, so 4 months now.
Still
just trying to.
I would think
write
that
some stuff
even
out.
if nothing ever comes out of that, just the mental, the flexible thinking of trying to not get rigid. You know, I think as we get older, there's a tendency to be like, I do things this way because this is what's always yielded the most success. But there's an inherent value in trying to just think backwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there was also part of it was like Henry was like, this is the way I do it. And so I was like, well, Henry's wildly successful and has had a, 40-year career. I should do this.
Yeah.
But I'm also learning more and more by hearing other podcasts and hearing other comics of their style of getting material, where you've got people who don't write anything down.
Yeah, they write on stage.
They kind of write on stage. Yeah, they'll just try stuff and they'll listen back and then they'll try it again, but a different way. And they've never written a word down ever. So I'm just learning more and more. Like it's just a personality preference. It's like what works for you. How do you feel comfortable with it? How do you feel good about a writing set after you've finished? I worked with Ryan Hamilton, who opens for Seinfeld a lot.
Yeah.
He's on the road for
great.
Seinfeld. And he talked about like Seinfeld's routine, that Seinfeld will sit down every day for 30 minutes to an hour to write. But the thing he says to himself at the beginning is, I don't have to come up with something.
Yeah.
But I'm going to set this time aside.
Yeah.
And there's times where he'll write, and go that night, try something out. And there'll be days where he just shuts the pad of paper down and, but he's comfortable with not coming up with anything.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this book called Daily Rituals. It's one of my favorite books. I've read it a million times. It's just, it's like 2 to 3 pages on everyone from like Hemingway to like architects, and it's just people's process and how do you people create so much amazing art with the time they have. And the most commonality in that book is that people do get up every morning like Seinfeld and they go, amateurs wait for inspiration. Pros make time every day because then you're ready. Some days it doesn't come, but you show up every day. Like if you get up every morning at 6 a.m. and you write 2 pages that are perfect, then at the end of the year, that's a whole novel.
Yeah.
And after 20 years, that's 20 novels. So I've always liked that idea. I feel like the times I've really tried to do that it's like, it almost like stops being fun or something, whereas like I've gotten more success from like, that was just a month where I thought of a bunch of funny stuff, so it's interesting like that. Like you were saying, you kind of have to find your own method. You can hear what the pros do or people around you and you can try it. But,
but just because it worked for one comic does not mean it will work for every comic or work for you. And you have to, that's part of like what they say about finding your voice. It's like, you just got to try and fail. And then like, oh, well, that little thing worked. So let's implement that and try and fail. And, it's just like, how stubborn are you to keep trying and failing to find your voice or find the way that works for you for writing or performing? And
it really is a resilience thing, right? I think comedy is definitely like, you got to do it for even just 10 years is still pretty young.
Because every time I feel like, oh, that was a great set. Like, I think I figured this out. And then you go somewhere else and you're like, I did not figure this out. Like, because this did not work. And I don't know why. Yeah,
it's always kind of fleeting, right?
I just like
say the same things in the same order with the same beats.
And it's like
nothing.
Okay, what was wrong? What did I do wrong? Because I for the most part, I'm a proponent of it's not the audience's fault. Like, there are times that things were set up to fail, either the setup of the room or the lighting or the sound or something.
TVs are on.
But TVs are on. Somebody just wouldn't be quiet. Tried to make the whole thing about them. Okay, but most of the time it's like, what did I not do to engage them, or what was I not reading from them that I didn't pivot at all?
Totally, yeah. And looking at it that way, you can do something about it and evolve, whereas saying that was a bad audience, it's like, it's kind of a defeatist attitude.
Yeah.
It's
but
like
there have been times where like every comic on the show was like, what was it? That was weird.
yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, at least it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
Like we all had a weird experience. So like
Yeah.
maybe in those instances you'd be like, yeah, the crowd, like they just didn't help.
Yeah, I mean the room being like giant and drafty with loud brewery equipment, or like, you know, the host being like really just I do think those first jokes of the night, like that's why like I wanted you to host my when I'm going long at the end, the host to me is like, why do people skimp on the host? You're gonna throw some 6-monther out there before you headline? Like that could be a huge hand grenade for the night.
A lot. Like, because that's what they say. Like, as you come up, it's like
start by hosting.
You start by hosting.
I want my host to be the best comic on the show.
Sometimes the host, can really not start the show well.
Yeah, and you just you don't ever quite like recover from it. I mean,
if you get a host that starts doing crowd work and kind of like turns the audience, and it's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, they should at least say like, now that I've done that, shut up for the rest of the comedians. You know, like, I love it. Like, when a host says
you've
something,
opened a door.
Yeah, now they think it's them.
You can't close the door.
Yeah, right.
Like if you are encouraging people to like interact, and the feature and the headliner don't really want to interact, they will, like you've done them a disservice. Or if you've just put down the crowd in some way, just because you might be in a little town and you've just like kind of. Like I've always said, like I don't want to shit on the audience, the venue, the booker. Like that's just not a great look.
That's like people look at like Doug Stanhope and they're like, well, he shit on everybody. It's like he's that 1%, and they're coming for him because he's a dick. Yeah. Like you're nobody. Yeah. And you're their guest tonight, and you're gonna like.
I want people to
put yourself beneath them. I always think
I want people to feel good about being there. I don't want to make them feel bad about where they live or what they look like or what they do for a living or.
Yeah.
I want people to laugh, which is another, like, I will never do, like, political humor. It's like, because unless you're the right like, you're going to offend, like, you're going to turn 50% of your crowd off.
Yeah.
Like.
See, I think that's really more what clean means than the words you say. It's that attitude that you're describing, like the idea that you're not being like, these idiots over here think this. Like, cleanliness it almost seems on the surface like it's don't say drugs or sex stuff, but I think clean really is like this attitude of like, I want everybody to have a good time and feel safe. Whereas like if you're doing shocking, edgy material, you're kind of like, you're not really aware of that. That like some people are scared, or know you're bringing up something that like is making people really uncomfortable, and then you're not releasing it with a good punchline. Like, I think there can be a lot of lack of awareness. People watch Kill Tony and they're like, oh, that's what it is. You
I think
say all the horrible things.
Yeah, people have asked like, would you ever go do Kill Tony? And I was like, there's no reason for me to do Kill Tony.
We have more to lose. The longer you do it, like if it's your first year, you don't have a lot to lose. But
I mean, I just like I don't even know that I have a single joke that's 1 minute.
Yeah, right.
Or like I definitely don't have multiple jokes to fit into 1 minute.
And then
it's like my material is not going to, like, the crowd that's there is like they want a certain type of comedy, and they want the host and the panel, like you're just going into a roast. Unless you just blow people away, you are going to get roasted.
Yeah.
And I would get roasted because my material is not for that audience.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Yeah.
But I do at a lot of open mics, I see a lot of people that have just watched a lot of Kill Tony, and that is their course that they go after.
Yeah, that's really, since COVID, it's really become the default, especially like young bros at the mics in the Southeast. So it's like, I don't even really mind Kill Tony, but I can feel its effects on the wave of comics, and it's like, man, it really wasn't like that before the pandemic. It's just so many young bros talking about like sexual assault and abortion. Like your first jokes are about that. Like those are like after you've been doing it for like 20 years, maybe, probably never. But to try to take on those topics as your first jokes when you have the least sensitivity to like people's traumas or whatever in the room, it's like you're kind of just making this bad for all of us.
Yeah, those are very heavy topics to come out of the gate with.
Yeah, right.
And if you don't have the, like what you said, the awareness of your audience and the awareness of how heavy that topic is for certain people, like it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't play well.
Yeah. I think that there's this, you can tell you're getting something when you bring up edgy topics, and when you're new, it's like you want a reaction. You don't want them ignoring you. So it's like when you're not good at it yet, you can almost confuse people being upset as like a good reaction, because you're like, oh, something's happening. And it's like, this is worse than nothing happening though. If you're upsetting people,
some people will go with the notion of, well, any reaction is a good reaction.
Yeah.
Well, not really.
Not at all.
There's definitely not.
It is interesting what you're saying though about like feeling like you've done it, figured it out, and then the next night it's bad. I think there is something kind of like inherently like non-deterministic about comedy. That's like part of the fun of it. Is it's kind of like the weather or something. Like you really can't. It's so complicated. The number of factors. Everybody's coming from different threads of life into a room on this one day. It'll never be the same audience again. Yeah. You're going through your stuff that day and you're going to say things a little different. And it's like, you can get good. And certainly if you ever manage to build your own audience, that seems to help a lot, because they bought a ticket.
That's what I hear.
I mean, that's what I hear too. It's like,
I've never seen it myself.
They got excited and they got a babysitter and paid like $50 to see Ryan Cox. Like it seems like I don't ever expect this to even happen, but it's a lot easier to succeed. But every show I do, they're like, who is he?
I think there's a lot more grace if they've come for you.
They paid. They want it to be a good investment. Right. They know who you are. It's the guy that I already know.
I think as a feature, a lot of times they're just surprised you're funny. Right. And it's a good surprise.
Yeah. It's like the opening band.
Well, I didn't think they'd be very good. I was here for that guy, but okay, this guy, I enjoyed him. Yeah. I enjoyed him. Maybe I'll follow him. Maybe I won't.
The number of times I'll do like a big show for some giant person and have a good set opening, and then I'll watch my follower count. It's like not a single one.
Yeah, I'm trying to make myself give out my socials at the end of a bigger headlining, like if I'm with a bigger headliner. And I'm not good at it. I don't love it. I don't like.
Yeah, it feels dirty.
I feel like I'm doing a little sales pitch.
Totally.
I don't like it. But I'm trying to get a little bit better at it. But still not good. Still not good.
Yeah.
The follower count is low.
Same. And having had the merch. I'm also hearing like, if you don't have merch, you're leaving money on the table. And it's like, hey, give me a follow. It doesn't really feel authentic.
Yeah.
I mean, I think none of us, it probably does, though. I think it's like, the schmoozy thing, the networking thing.
It's
like
the thing you have to do, because I've definitely had bookers ask how many followers I have. So like, I mean, they don't, in some clubs, it's really not even about your material. It's can you put butts in seats,
No, I can't. But,
I know, and that's the thing. What's the polite way of saying, not really?
Yeah, and that's what I was, experimenting with just in the last few months, like with the show we did in Charlotte, to see if I know that there's nobody there that's going to see me now, but maybe I can run some targeted ads.
Yeah.
And get like 50.
Yeah.
Get like 50 people. And I think, I don't know, it was like, I forget the number. It wasn't 50, but it was, it was enough to feel like a show. But this idea that somehow I can get people there that came to see me instead of it's just a bunch of comedians that we'll forget about, trying to turn that corner where they actually came to see you. Like that's such a leap.
I had to do I was in Little Rock, Arkansas at the beginning of this month, and it was like a Wednesday through Saturday. And I was going to be the feature Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but they wanted me to do a headline set Wednesday for this Wednesday show. And I dreaded it all day because I was like, I don't live here. I don't know anybody.
It would be
here.
better if your first night, if the last night was headliner, because you could have gotten a feel for it.
Nobody. I was just like, I'm going to walk into this club. There's going to be 4 people. And there were like 30. It turned out to be a very nice show. But like, it was like, I know that like my name is not pulling people in. Like they were practically giving tickets away.
There are some clubs where, like, I think the club at Comedy Zone I did this weekend, I mean, I drove 8 hours to get there. I think it was one of those more old school clubs where it's like, let's go down to the comedy club this Saturday night. And we know that that's going to be a good show. And we like comedy. I feel like my sense is that's how it used to be more. But now the influencer thing, it's a lot more like, how many followers do you have? And you can even be like a year in and have enough TikToks that popped off that it's changing. But I feel like the old model was a little more like, you don't have to know who the headliner is to buy a ticket because you just want to go see comedy at the club.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it was, I don't know. I just got so worked up about like how bad it was going to be. So it was a nice little surprise that it wasn't a disaster.
Yeah, 30's great. And that's cool that they let you headline. Like,
I think it was really just because the headliner couldn't get there till Thursday.
What do you like to do what length do you like to do when you headline?
They wanted me to do 45.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with 45. I've done up to 55.
Damn.
But yeah, I was hitting all the material I've ever written pretty much.
Of course,
It's like just pulling out everything.
Yeah, my act gets fillerier.
Yeah.
Once you get past 40, it's like, I'm not going to say no, but like,
I don't have
a lot. Have to dust off that Kmart bet.
I don't have a lot more. Yeah.
Hey, remember all the masks we were wearing? It starts to get a little like,
I was like, okay, what COVID material can I still bring up?
Things that aren't even quite relevant.
I was like, well, we got measles coming back, so can I just switch COVID to measles? What do we got? We got diseases that we thought we had conquered.
It's essentially a vaccine joke at heart.
Yeah, it is. It's like there's people that do and people that don't. So let's just do that. Yeah, so there's still definitely. I'm still just not confident enough that I'll walk into a room and look at the crowd and be like, oh, I'm not going to do well. Instead of just being like, these jokes are fairly universally funny. So, but I'll just psych myself out.
It might even help though. I mean, in my conversations with people, it's almost been like having that fear can be good. And you're almost maybe more at risk when you walk in and you're like, oh, I'm going to make these guys laugh for sure. I think that's more when you're likely to get truly.
That'll definitely happen at a double header at a club. Like you do the early show and then you got the late show right after it, and you just like do really good at the early show.
So you get
like,
cocky.
I'm feeling good. And then that late show humbles you quick.
Right. And the late show sometimes is like younger people. Where it's like the early show is like everybody wants to be in bed by 9, so they still have attention spans. They're like the generation of people that like,
and then the people who've been pre-gaming before they come,
they're drunk and young,
and they're not there for a 5-minute bit. They don't
hit their vape pens.
Yeah, they don't have the attention span. They just zone out pretty fast.
I have found the early show often goes better, which is like it's totally counterintuitive.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but yeah, sometimes those late show. I did late show Friday for some reason is for me notoriously like the worst show I'll do of a weekend if I'm doing a Friday and Saturday someplace. Yeah. For some reason, the late show Friday is always the one that I'm like, oh, that did not go well.
Saturday people have been able to chill out.
Saturday they haven't had work all day, so they're a little more just loosey goosey, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. That Friday late crowd, they're probably regretting coming because they're like, I've been at work all day. Here I'm out. I'm still out. I should be home.
Getting those 4 though. I mean, or more like you said, starting on Wednesday. Like the last weekend, it was just one each night. 2 30-minute sets. That was great, but getting to do early late. I mean, I'm like, even if it goes bad, the amount I get more time in.
It's good
in a weekend. That's like 6 months of mics or something. That's
I think that weekend,
hours
that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday was like close to 4 hours of stage time.
That's amazing.
In a 5-day span. So it was, as far as stage time goes, it was really good. Was just kind of able to work on some material. And also, you kind of see how your material works in a different part of the country.
Totally.
Which is sometimes weird.
Totally.
Because sometimes, like, I have a thing about this dead Roomba, and I say that my son got in his car and went to Harris Teeter. And it's like, oh, well, they don't have it here. It's like, I got to either put their grocery store in, or I just have to say grocery store. Like, it's like all of a sudden it's like,
yep.
I wrote from a place that I live, and I didn't even think about it, that somebody else may not have that store, or
Totally. I just did my.
Are they a Walmart crowd? Are they a Target crowd? It's like, it's like,
high class.
Yeah, it's like, where am I here?
Yeah, I did my like talking to Bo Linda at the Bojangles drive-through.
Yeah.
Bet this past weekend in Pittsburgh. You guys have Bojangles here? You don't? Okay.
Okay, so this
kind of got to laugh on that, but it's like why is this
crap.
not? Yeah, that's okay, they don't have Bojangles
here. They don't
here.
have what I'm talking about.
Yeah. What a cool thing, though, to get to see it, because Asheville is such its weird, like it's just the things that are funny here can be so different than you're in the South still in any direction. So it's always I love to get out of town and try different stuff.
Well, I'm so nervous about doing this thing tonight, because it's like, I don't know, like,
I think your stuff's pretty universally,
but.
You gonna do the gynecology bit?
I am gonna do that. I am gonna do that.
That's
and I'm gonna close with Joel Osteen. So it's like I'm gonna hit my hits.
No problems.
And then I just have one thing about my wife in the middle. I mean, it's only 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So
you'll do great.
It is what it is. But it's like, Asheville has a reputation of. So it's like,
being a bunch of snobs.
Yeah, well, it's just it's very liberal. It's I don't want to say the wrong thing.
It's weird that and you won't, but we are like way too up our asses about that. It's weird that Charlotte and Asheville are so close, but there's so little cross pollination that seems to happen.
Yeah.
Like it's such different worlds,
Yeah.
I wish there was more back and forth.
Yeah,
between our cities.
there's a lot of people that I know that do Asheville shows. So that'd be exciting, I guess.
Once this podcast comes out and you win the competition tonight,
or it could be one and done. One and done in Asheville.
Yeah,
I'll be like, Charlotte's not that bad.
No,
I'll just keep doing stuff in Charlotte.
You guys have a club and everything. Charlotte's amazing. You got clubs.
They got 2 clubs.
We don't even have a club.
2 clubs now.
So,
one of them is easier to get into, and has been really super supportive of the local scene. The Duckworths is like really.
I've been cold emailing them every few months.
They have put more locals on their shows as hosts or features than anybody I've seen.
Yeah, some of the franchises kind of have their guys, and
they have their guys, or they are bringing in a headliner that brings their own feature.
Because we have a zone pop up here that happens at the Diana Wortham, and I think there's never been a Nashville comedian that's been a part of any of them. So rightfully so, there's some like upsetness about that. I think they're allowed to run shows the way they want, and I think our local scene's allowed to be upset about it. It's all
tough.
Good discussion,
It's tough. I don't love the term gatekeeper. I don't really think I don't know that that's a thing. I just think
it's like blaming the crowd. It's not a helpful perspective.
It doesn't help you,
even if it's true.
And I've seen people go on, in Charlotte at least, I've seen people rant on Facebook about it, and I was like, well, that's not helpful to you.
No.
Like,
not only are there gatekeepers, but I'm a troublemaker.
Yeah, there's gatekeepers. I'm naming them, and I'm mad that I'm not getting booked by them. Well, you're not going to get booked by them.
And those people
because you just ranted about them.
Rant that, you're usually like, I've had a few interactions with them that felt a little,
Yeah,
it's like, dude, you're a troublemaker. Yeah. We're all scared to tell you.
Yeah, it's like you got to. It's once again, it's that whole self-awareness. Like, there's certain things like I might think it. I shouldn't put it on social media.
Yeah. No.
Like, I may feel very passionate about that.
Yeah.
But if I put it out there, it's not going to help me.
And people would be screenshotting so fast. So you delete
before
it.
you delete it,
It's there.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just want to stay bookable. So
yeah, same.
That is going to
be easy to work with.
That is going to dictate how I present myself and how I interact with others on social media.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of comedy Facebook pages, and I have thoughts about some of the topics that they say, but I don't. It's not helpful for me to say what I think.
Quite the opposite.
So I'll be like,
yeah,
I'll read it, I'll acknowledge it, I will not post to it.
Yeah.
But that could be old dad,
Well, that's wise old dad. You know,
it could be old dad.
That's wise old dad.
Personality and be
he's had children. He's been humbled. He realizes that his feelings don't matter very much at all in the grand scheme of things.
And trying to teach my children about their social media presence.
Yeah.
With boys, it's like, dude, there's so many things you can't do. That luckily they're teaching in school now, which is really weird that they're teaching about I don't know. It's a lot of sexual stuff, but it's like
sexting, or it doesn't go
sexting,
away.
Or
if you do that,
if you send an image to someone, or someone sends an image to you, and either you send it to them, and they're it's being sent around now, or you're sending it around. It's
it'll be, everyone will see it forever.
It's a thing.
If you send it one time, just know that
it's a thing.
You're one bad decision away from.
And I think you've probably said it. I've said it. It's like, good Lord, I'm glad Instagram did not exist when I was growing up, because it's like, I don't know that I would be uncanceled.
Yeah, I can only think that this generation everyone will be so cancelable that maybe it'll not be as big a deal, just because everyone's
got dirt on everyone. Everyone's got dirt.
The wreck of your life is just public.
Because I definitely did stuff as a kid that if that was documented, whew.
Yeah.
So I think they have a lot more pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
About towing the line and staying on this side of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we got on that tangent.
Yeah.
That was my bad. My bad.
Well, no, it's all good. We're at we've been talking for 90 minutes.
There we go.
We hit our time.
We did it.
But yeah, it was great to have you on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Definitely, you have some masterclass tips on you're very funny. You do the material, but also just how to carry yourself and get booked. I think that's really valuable stuff.
I'm trying to learn from people that I look up to.
Yeah,
and kind of ask them how they did it. I do think there's growing pains when you start comedy, and there's not a rule book, and people don't tell you how to get booked. And you just gotta figure it out, and you just ask other people. And I've always said, if somebody asks me, I will gladly share my spreadsheet with somebody if they were to ask me, hey, who do you send emails to? I'll be like, well, here's, because somebody sent that to me.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna keep it.
I'll take a copy.
All right, I'll send you a copy.
I mean,
absolutely.
And you're not the first one who has a spreadsheet that they've said this and shared with me. I found that most people don't ever actually go for it too. So there's really, I think early on I was like, oh, you shouldn't share the secrets, but now it's like, no, share the secrets, because very few people will actually send the emails. And then if you send the 10 emails and you get no responses, most people go, I quit. The tenacity you have to keep.
And if you bust through a wall, if I help somebody bust through a wall, then good for them. I mean, I'm not. Yeah. Maybe they'll have me feature for them.
Let me feature for you.
Yeah, I was like, as a way of saying thanks. Could I feature for you or something? Also ask them why they never emailed me back. So there's got to be a reason. To know what it was.
Awesome. Well, Paul Snyder, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, Ryan.
It was great. A lot of fun.